Excuse me. I didn't mean to cough like that. Not like anybody cares anymore. Um, yeah, cool. What the heck? What in the world? That's crazy. I can't believe he. Who the fuck is that? That's hilarious. Sneak lion. Something's going on there. Some sneak lion shit. Ugh. Why you always lying? Why you always lying? Oh no, I don't know what people get out of lying every day. I was talking about this yesterday. Like I just went to check something and the person was like, I don't know what that's about. Maybe I shouldn't accuse. And I say, well, I don't really care anyway. It's not my money, not my wife, not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. You want to give away your money? Go right ahead. What's your number? I don't want nothing to do with bullshit. All right, let me see something here. Okay, cool. That's 40. All right, $40. All right, cool. All right. 40 bucks. Okay. That's good. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right. Now I need to find out. Nope. Not now. 156. I paid that already. 282.99. Okay, cool. Okay, 282.99. All right, cool. Okay. Looks like it's gonna rain again. Okay, 282.99. All right, that's done. Okay. Social insurance. Oh boy. Looks like we got some rain. Okay, let's see what we got here. What's today? January. Okay, cool. 376.50. All right. 376.50. Man, good to go. Alright, good. All right, we got that done. I don't want that. All right, so mental, blah, blah. That's too much. I have to take a fucking chill on that. All right, what's today? The 27th. Yep. All right, cool. We're all done. Man, good to go. People know what. People make me laugh when they say, "Oh, I have bad spending habits, and I need to financially make myself better." You know deep down inside what you have to do. Like you're not. Are you that stupid? You know you're spending unnecessary money. You know it deep down inside. Like you know what you're doing. Are you that dumb that you don't realize things? Maybe you are. Maybe I give people too much credit. I don't know. I just think people know what they're up against. If you know how much money you have, don't spend it. Oh, hell no. These people went swimming. Oh, hell no. This woman went in the water with lipstick on. These people are hilarious. Some people, but I tell you, it must be crazy. Oh, hell no. This dumb girl. This girl's got some reindeer outfit on. Oh, God. What's wrong with these people? People are over here like diving overboard, swimming in the water. It must be crazy. Hell no. Hey, Barbie. Good morning. How you doing? What's wrong with these people? Oh well. Oh boy. Better than last several days. That's good. We're gonna hit 30 today. What am I up to today? Well, the weather was so bad this morning that I wanted to sleep in. And then somebody out here was making noise, and I didn't really get much sleep. My sleep's been pretty bad the last 2 days. I've been getting like a little bit of sleep. And then yesterday I had like a little headache moment. Then it went away and I was all right. And then today I was folding my clothes and I had a little moment where my head was like, I had a headache. And I also have like a pain in my uh, like hip. So I walked a bit today. I walked around the house for like 10 minutes just to see if it'll get better. It feels a bit better, but it's still aggravating me. But yeah, I'm kind of not doing anything, kind of trying to take it easy. I'm not feeling my 100% best, to be honest. I mean, I'm not expecting to be perfect every day or be in a great, you know, physical way every day. It's our bodies. Our bodies are blah. Today I have like I don't know, just like a lack of sleep feeling. Like I don't feel right. I think I'm gonna like later on. I'm just gonna wrap a handkerchief with some alcohol, like I usually do. Yeah, I got some fresh air earlier. That's why I feel better. I went outside when the weather got better. Now the sun's out, so I might go sit outside and on the by the pool and just take in the fresh air and just let the sun hit me a bit. As I feel it like right here in my right here, like I just feel like the lack of sleep sensation. I mean, I did lot yesterday, like yesterday morning when I woke up, it was pouring rain and I went back to sleep on and off, on and off, on and off. And I think that's what's affecting me. It's like the on and off sleep is not good. Like I'll sleep for like an hour, get up, sleep for another hour, then get up, like wake up, and then I'll sleep for like 2 hours, and I'll wake up again and just be like, look at the time, and I'm like, I saw 444 last night. I got up and I saw 444, and I started smiling when I was in my bed. I'm like, yeah, spirit just letting me know, you're all right. It's just our body goes through all these transitions from food, and I've been eating some different type of foods here and there, and I think it's been affecting my sleep, like keeping me up, trying to figure out what the heck I've eaten that will make me feel that way because I haven't drank any soda, you know, and I don't drink coffee at night. The only thing I think it could be is the iced tea that I drink probably has like some caffeine in it. So I need to stop drinking that late. but I water it down, So I mean, I don't know if it is that, or I just think that it's just the way my body is, and just the lack of sleep. And see, I can't sleep during the day because guaranteed somebody will call me. Guaranteed somebody will make noise. Somebody will beep their horn out here in their car. Some bullshit will happen. I never really get sleep during the day. That's like almost virtually impossible. Somebody will wake me up and piss me off, and I'd rather just wait. But I did walk around, got some fresh air earlier. I laid down just now for a bit, but I feel like my head feels like it has a slight headache. Like I can feel my headache a bit. And I was just telling my mom that I haven't got any headaches in a long time. I put my mouth on it. And that's how I feel like. I feel like right here, all around here, I feel like my head's ringing a bit. So I need to go. Like, I got to pick up my nephew in an hour and a half from now. So I just said I'll just come live and see if I can just chill for a bit, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the iced tea. Yeah. Well, I already spoke to her today, so she doesn't really like call me like that. I usually call her, or if she doesn't hear from me, she calls me. But I already spoke to her today to see how she's doing. I wanted to take her to the grocery store, but the weather was so shitty. So I was like, oh well, we'll do it tomorrow. Hey Marley, how you doing? But yeah, you know, I don't really get headaches like that, but I kind of feel like I do. Like last night and then this morning, and then now I still feel like my head a little tight. But I feel like it's mostly because of lack of sleep. And the thing is, I try to go to bed late, you know, so I can get more sleep. And at 8 o'clock this morning, it was like pouring rain and stuff, and I was just there sleeping. And all I hear is boom, boom, boom. And I woke up, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Like, what the fuck is that? It was my neighbor slamming their doors to get in their car. I'm like, I never slam my fucking doors. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, fuck, man. It's freezing balls there. Yeah, I saw the weather. The whole like South, like Florida, ATL, all those places, and apparently it's supposed to come towards here and then go down to the Caribbean. It's gonna go further downwards. It's supposed to be cold here tomorrow night in the 50s. Yeah, that's crazy. That for you guys, that's once in a while that happens. They said it's supposed to be the coldest. Next couple weeks is supposed to be very cold everywhere. Well, the next couple days from now to the weekend. It's only Tuesday. As you can see above my head, we have all that shit all around us. It's like the sun pokes out, then the clouds come, then the rain comes, then the sun comes out, then the clouds, then the rain. It's the most annoying shit ever. But at least the weather's a bit better now. It's not that cold. Yeah, that's like here. People like when it's in the 50s, nobody wants to go anywhere. Even my even my mom was like, I don't even want to go outside. It's too cold here. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's pretty nippy outside. Hey Tanya, I'm the cool kid. Yeah, apparently everybody's got cold weather. You can see above my head it says 62 degrees with 61 humidity, 18 mile an hour northwesterly winds. I had my AC on last night because it was so freaking humid. It was so humid, it was ridiculous. But now it's not. Now it's okay now. Yeah, it gets pretty hot here and nasty, especially the month of August. It gets really bad here. Too hot and too humid. But even during the wintertime, we turn on our AC because of the humidity. The humidity takes over the temperature here. Happens a lot of times. That's why I had to sleep with the AC on last night and close all my windows and doors and blinds. It was so freaking windy, it was ridiculous. And my mom told me in Portugal they had all these floods and stuff, and it was really bad out there too. A lot of damage, like 70 mile an hour winds. It's like a mini winter storm out there. Seems like everybody's like going through their winter irritation. Oh, nice, Barbie. Sausage, scrambled eggs, and toast. That's what I had. I was talking to my mom. I'm like, I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. And she's like, why? I was like, because I feel like shit. I don't feel like eating right now. I didn't really get much sleep. And then she's like, you got to eat something. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to right now. So I said, I'm going to make eggs, sausages, and some cheese, and then put it on some toast, and that's it. That's what I did. I had my 2 cups of coffee. Now I'm drinking water. Just trying to stay. I went for a little walk around the house today for like 10 minutes because I wasn't feeling that great. I got like a side pain on my hip here. It hurts. Like it's pretty stiff and it's aggravating. It's from me twisting my body. I went and bent down and I went and put on I was on my couch right yesterday. It was my fault anyway. And between my couch and my table, it's not much room because I want it close to me so I can eat on it. And instead of eating here at regular level. But I just like going over there and eating. So then when I went to get up, I said, let me put on my socks. So it wasn't enough room for me to like bend down properly. So when I lifted my leg and I twisted like this to put on my sock, it like this huge pain went all the way from my hip all the way to my belly, and I was like, oh, like like a cramp. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my god, that's so painful. And I guy jumped up real quick, and I was just like holding it. And after like probably like 5 to 10 minutes, it went away, and I was like, oh my god, that hurt. I was like, you fucking idiot. You never put on your socks here. Why would you do that? So like I kind of twisted my whole body like an idiot. So I did it to myself. And now the pain is like still kind of there every now and then. But I've always had like a pain like right down, like way down here, like on my, it's like right on my hip bone, right on my left. It's always been a pain there for a long time. Because what it is, I twist my body sometimes and it hurts. But I'm a big boy. I'm all right. I went for a walk. Oh, you have an earache? Oh no, I hate that. My ears itch a lot. What I do is I put like a drop of alcohol in there sometimes just to get the itch away or disinfect. Sometimes I put lotion in there too. Earaches are so annoying. Oh, 50 degrees is not bad, not that bad. That's how much it's going to be here tonight, 53, which is not that bad. Yeah. When I have an earache, I just put a drop of alcohol in there, a drop of rubbing alcohol, maybe two. It helps with the earache. I don't really go to urgent care or a hospital or anything like that. I have to be like pretty much dying in order to go. And I ask Spirit to be my doctor every day. I beg them, literally. I beg Spirit to help me every day. I beg them and say, please be my doctor. Please do your internal operating on me. Make sure I just don't go to that hospital, please, for the love of God. They must be like, okay, bro, okay, we got you. Don't worry. But I still have to do my part, you know? Yeah, same here. That's why I beg Spirit to help me as much as I can because I can't be, immobile or sick or have some problems happen to me. I got to take care of my mom. Without me, it's going to be difficult for her to, without me, like with me being sick or having issues, it's hard for her. Yeah, to each their own. I'm not saying that everybody's got to be like me or, you know, majority of the time, it's just all in your mind, you know? Someone pee in your ear. Hell no. That would never happen. Fuck that shit. Yep. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And after 50, you go off the hill. To go downhill. See, you guys like that. Yeah, my mom says after 50, pretty much shut. I told her I'm already feeling that before 50. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, shit. And I feel like time is ticking, and there's some days where I feel great. Like when I work outside, like when I was on my mom's roof talking to my cousin and time was going by, and I feel like when my mind is focused on things, I don't really think about anything negative or have anything negative to worry about. But like yesterday, I was DJing and I had my hat on and I had like the earphones on my head. And I think that it was affecting, like, affecting my headache a little bit. And it made me feel kind of woozy. I was like, oh boy, I better get off of here. Then I felt okay after. I started to breathe in. I always breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth when I feel weird, and it helps me all the time. Sometimes all we need to do is breathe properly, and then our bodies like reset. Nah, I didn't feel like I was gonna faint. I just felt like that pressure to my head, like it was too much. It was like my headache was like got worse, and I shouldn't have went. I shouldn't have listened to music all loud like that because my head ain't built for that shit no more. But I don't know. I think it's just pretty much a lack of sleep. Because when I sleep well, I feel well. But the last 2 days, I've been having interrupted sleep, stupid, dumb dreams, and then my head starts to like pound a bit. So I need to go lay down and put that handkerchief with alcohol on it, and it'll make me feel better. That's what usually works. Every now and then, this happens to me, or like I get shitty. It happens to my mom a lot too. Like she'll say that, well, she said she slept pretty good last night, which I was happy. And I told her it was the opposite for me. I didn't sleep that much. I kept waking up. But we all have those days where we sleep a lot, we sleep a little, and we have a headache. And I know some people who can't even leave their house. They have migraines and shit, and they can't even function. So I'm thankful I don't have to get myself into that situation. And my body cramps up a lot now too. Like last night, I was sleeping and my calf on my right side like got a huge cramp. I was like, oh my god, that hurts. So like, it's crazy. It's and I tell people like it's nothing about you. You have these athletes out there and they got cramps all the time too. It's just our body. A lot of people's bodies are built for certain things. Certain people's bodies are deteriorate around this age. you know I get a lot of toe cramps every now and then. So it's just a part of life. I mean, I'm not one to complain. I just know it's just the way it is. Because right now I feel fine. I just have like a little headache. Like my head feels a little tight. That's all. I feel fine though. I feel much better than I did this morning. But I still feel like weird. Like I know I need to, I don't know, I need to sleep. But usually when I don't get sleep for like don't when I have shitty sleeps the next day, like I always sleep way better because my body's like, yeah, fuck this. But it's all good. I'll be all right. I have I have faith everything will be okay. I don't really worry too much. think I'm gonna put some. I think I'm gonna put the what you call it, that handkerchief with alcohol on me before I drive later. How was the dump? I didn't go to the dump, but I tell you, when the last time I went to the dump was last week. Maybe that's what you mean. But um, I remember. I don't know if I told you guys, but I left. you know. I remember I went to take a carpet to the dump and like a rug that you put in your front door, and Diamond peed on both things. So I rolled it up and I took it to the dump. And I know the pee stained it, and it's probably still stinks of her pee. And then, literally, as soon as I turned my back and went to my car, I went to go get something. Oh, I went to go get some old phones that my mom had, like all these corded phones and old phones that she kept in one in a bag. So I disposed of that. As soon as I turn around, I see a guy with both carpets in his hand and him going towards his vehicle to go to take them. And I'm like, yeah, little do you know, when you get home and you put those carpets down, you're gonna smell piss, and it ain't gonna be nice. So you're gonna have to wash those, buddy. I'm sure he'll figure it out when he gets home. I'm sure he's already figured it out. People take things to the trash for a reason. Yeah, he can clean it. I'm sure he did clean it. Common sense. Both carpets were okay, but I weren't about to clean them because I didn't want them. I don't want nothing to like remind me of where she peed on and all that type of stuff. I didn't like that carpet anyway, so I got rid of it. Yeah, I can't see all that. I can't see things that remind me of her right now. It's bad enough I have her on my wallpaper on my phone and I see her every day. One of the last pictures where she ate a lot, staring at me right here. I was thinking about taking it off because it's like it's too much for me to keep remembering that stuff. But then again, you know, I'd rather keep it there and then remember that, at least I can see her like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind grieving. It's just been weird. You know? She's all over my phone, so it's hard not to see her. I'm not erasing those pictures or taking them off my phone. So, same thing with my dad. I kind of want to go to the cemetery and see if they've put their name up, my dad's name on the plaque yet. But my brother went there last week and said nothing's on there yet. Like it's been months now and they still haven't put it on there. Fucking idiots. But my brother said that he saw my grandfather's plaque that I put up and he says it looks really nice. But he won't call me and tell me. He told my mom. Fucking idiot. My mom used to say that my dad had really bad headaches when he was my age. I remember my dad laying down and having that handkerchief with alcohol around his head. My mom used to do it for him all the time. I guess it's my turn to have headaches. Yeah, he had headaches because he was out in the sun all day, see, working for us kids. So yeah, but that was his fault too. He shouldn't be in that damn sun all day. But he had no choice. Well, he kind of had a choice, but not really. I feel like a lot of people have a choice not to work hard anymore. And that's what I've done. I don't really want to work hard no more. And I'm going to try to avoid working hard every time I can. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to keep killing myself physically. It's bad enough I did the roof last week and the week before that. Even my brother told my mom that he saw me and my cousin up on the roof, and he says he'll never go up there and never do that type of work. It's not for him. And I was like, yeah, but when, but when my mom, when you see me up there, who do you think fucking paid for it? And who do you think did it? So you won't even say, hey, thanks, man, for hooking up mom's roof. Like these guys, I swear, my siblings are just like, they're so disrespectful and they're so fucking ungrateful. But when my mom dies and the house gets appraised and everybody gets money off the house, you think they're gonna say, "Hey, Mark, look, I know you did the roof. I know you made this house the way it is. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have this value. Here you go, bro. Here's some money for you." They won't ever do that. They don't give a fuck. Well, that's what my dad said, Tanya. My dad said right before he died, he looked at me and goes, "Hey, I told you already. People don't change. These people are gonna you always think that these people are gonna change. They're not gonna change." And he goes like that, "They're not gonna change." And I remember him saying that, and I realize it, but it's just fucked up. It's just like, how could you have like no decency to say thank you? But my dad was like that too. He didn't really say thank you until the very last year. He didn't really say thank you too much. He's not that type of person. He feels like, I ain't gotta thank you, fuck you, just do it and shut up. That's his type of attitude. But see, I always kill them with kindness anyway. Because when my oldest sister um hosted us like the day before my dad passed away, we all went to her house, and then she took the initiative to deal with the funeral and stuff. And before I left, I said, thanks for helping, with the funeral and doing all that stuff. I appreciate it. And she just looked at me and she goes, okay, that's it. Like, but at least I said something. But you won't say, you know, I heard you did the roof. Thanks for doing that. Mom said you paid for it with the inheritance money that we got. But see, they'll never say that shit. See, they're just ignorant, stupid fucking people that just never like care about anybody else but themselves. They're like, why can't you just say, you know, thanks, or hey Mark, blah blah blah. You need any money for it? Just like the I would never take anything from them or say them to help, because I just rather do it myself. I don't need nobody's help to do that anyway. And she knows I take my mom rubs it all in her face too. My mom tells me that she always tells her about me because she knows she doesn't like me. So my mom's like, oh, I told her that Mark took me to the grocery store. Mark took me here. Mark took me there. Mark paid for this. Mark done that. Mark comes here almost every day to watch TV with me, and we had lunch the other day. My mom says she rubs it all in her face. But she'll never call me and say, hey, thanks for being there for mom, because I can't. I'm a school teacher and I'm busy, and I can't go there every day. I hope you understand. Nothing. You won't even say, yeah, thanks for being there for mom. She needs you. You need you guys. Heard you did the roof. Heard you working on the house. If you need any help, let me know. Nothing. Not a fucking peep. Not a nothing at all. A bunch of idiots. But when my mom dies, you're going to be sitting at that table with the lawyer and the fucking real estate agent saying, oh, yeah, we have to get as much as money as we can for this house. You know, my parents worked hard on this house. But you won't say Mark worked hard on the house to give it value. You won't say that. That's why I told my mom, I said, God forbid the day you die and we're all your kids, all four of us are still alive, and come to that day where we're sitting in that kitchen on that table and she says the stupidest thing, I'm gonna fuck her off and I'm gonna fight against her and I'm gonna tell her like you guys don't deserve fucking nothing from this house because you ain't put no money into it and you haven't put any value into this house. And I have receipts, I have invoices, I have everything that I've kept. And you guys should get less. And if I were to say that to her and tell her I'll take her ass to court and try and get, more from me than her, then it's still gonna backfire because the money that I spend was the money I'm not gonna get. It's just just break even again. And it's not even about like the money or how much I've put in it and how much I get back. It's the whole point of you not offering to like take less and give me and my sister more. Cause I know she won't do that. Cause she'll look at our faces and say, oh, that's your choice. You never asked me to help. That's what she would do. That's what type of evil bitch she is. Cause she paid for half the funeral with my other sister. And my younger sister said Mark ain't paying nothing for this funeral because he does everything for mom and dad. And she goes, oh, I know. That's okay. You and I can pay for it. And my older brother, he can't pay for anything because he's broke. He always ain't got no money. He didn't do one thing for that funeral. He didn't do shit. Nothing at all. It's fucking sad. But you can't change people. Like you said, nothing. It's just the way it is. Family will always hurt you the most and do the most stupidest things, and you just look at them like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you can't just be happy and grateful or just like come off your high horse and just say, hey, thanks for helping mom. When she paid for half the funeral, I I told her, I said, thanks for paying for half the funeral for mom, me and for dad, And then my mom says, oh, you guys ain't got to pay for it. I can pay for it. I have the money in my bank. When the money goes, I don't give a shit. And then my sister was like, no, mom, it's okay. We'll pay for it because we're getting the inheritance money and it'll cover it up. And I'm like, look at this bitch. That's the only reason why you agreed to pay for half the funeral, because you knew you were going to get the inheritance money to make up for it. That's the only reason why you didn't. Because if we didn't get an inheritance, that bitch would have never paid for it. I guarantee it. She would have never done it. She was like, oh, hell no, I'm not paying all that money for this. But my dad paid thousands and thousands of dollars to put you through 6 years of college. You don't remember that part, did you? My dad was obligated to pay for that, right? That's why she doesn't like me, because I say everything to her in her face. See, I say to her what nobody else wants to. And I don't mind saying it because I don't need her. And she don't need me either. And that's why every time we have a family function, I say shit to her sometimes. When our family was smaller and the kids were younger, my nephews were younger. I'll never forget. She was scooping up some macaroni and cheese into her plate, and she's like, like she giggles like a little weirdo, right? She's like, the kids, I woke up this morning and the kids didn't make their bed, so I told them they better make their bed before we go to grandma and grandpa's house. And she talks like a weirdo, right? You wouldn't even think she was raised in the ghetto. And I said to her, it was just like an instant response to that stupid ass comment. And I said, oh, they're just like you, because when you were living here, mom made your bed. You never made yours. And she looked at me and she just sat down, and my brother-in-law looked at me and smirked, and their faces went all red, and they didn't say one word back to me. And my mom started laughing. And my dad was shaking his head, and my sister and my brother looked at me and was like, this fucking ass. And I was like, who the fuck made your bed when you were young? You never made your bed. Mom made it. Because you guys couldn't even make your bed properly. Mom did it for you. And you're telling me that your sons make their bed and they didn't make their bed and then you told them to go make it? Did you do that? Did you do your bed did you make your bed when you left? No, you didn't. Because mom was like your slave. You little biatch. Fuck you talking about? I put her in her place all the time. That's why she don't like me. Sometimes she probably says I better not say nothing stupid because Mark's here. Like I remind her of how dumb she sounds, you know? Fucking idiot. I told her one day, if anybody owes mom and dad, is you. And she hated that. I rubbed that shit all in her face. And then that about a couple months later when I fucked her off, she bought my mom and dad an AC for their living room, a brand new one, and got her husband and this other guy to put it in. And I was like, you have to get fucked off in order to help your parents. And you don't make no sense. Like you really, really don't make no sense. Let me tell you, Barb, I was like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still like that. I pay for everything that I work for shit and I pay for shit. I don't ask nobody for nothing. Cause to me, that'll downgrade myself. I won't be able to live with myself if I needed somebody to pay for shit for me. You know? I just can't be that way. You know? I've had some pretty hard times when I was younger, you know, because I made some bad decisions. When I bought my secondhand car, my first car was a secondhand car, and I bought it from an asshole. And him and I had a verbal agreement that I was going to pay him $100 a week, but I gave him 5 grand right off the bat, right? And next thing you know, he's like, "Oh, I need that money because my girlfriend's pregnant. I need the rest of that 2 grand because it was $7,000 for the car." And I told him I can only give you 5, but I'll give you 100 a week. So like about maybe a couple weeks went by, and I owed him like 12 or $1,300 left, and I couldn't give him that money because I had to pay for rent and everything else. I was in the army, you know, blah blah blah. This is a true story. So he came to my apartment one day and said, "Hey, look, I need the rest of that money, man. My wife's pregnant. I mean, my girlfriend's pregnant. The baby's about to come." I said, "Look, that's not my problem, you know?" And I said, "If you don't leave my apartment right now, I'm gonna fucking hit you over the head with this helmet." Because we had an agreement. I don't give a fuck about what your personal problems are. Our agreement was this. That's it. "Oh, you owe me more than 12." I said, "No, I don't." I said, "I have it right here. How much money I've given you. I owe you $1,200. And I said, "You know what? A matter of fact, I'm going to borrow the money from my parents and I'll give you your fucking money. And don't you ever speak to me ever again. I fucking hate you." And that's what I did. I went to my parents and I said, "You know what? I can afford 500. I can take $500 out of my account and I'll get 700 from my mom and dad." So I went to my mom and dad's house and I said, "Look, this bastard that I bought my car from, he wants the rest of his money because he's having a newborn on the way and he needs this money, yada, yada, yada." I said, "Look, all I got to do is give him $700. Can you guys help me?" And my dad goes, "Yeah, I'll lend you the money." And you know what my dad did? My dad said, "Look, that money that you owe me, help me paint the house. And you ain't got to give me the money back because I was going to ask my friends to help me. But if you help me paint the house, because you don't live here no more, you live in your apartment, you got bills. So if you help me paint the house, right, and fix up things around the house, you don't owe me that money no more." So I end up, my parents gave me the money and then I worked it off. But my dad gave me the option, right? Because he knew like I can help him. And he knew I was going through a situation. My dad told me, when you buy other people's things, you buy someone else's problems. And if you don't pay for shit right away, and you get, you make like a deal with a person like that, they're gonna have issues. And he was right. And I say, "You know what, Dad, I learned my lesson." But I made an agreement with this bastard, and he still like was aggravating me. I still could have like avoided him and didn't even care. But because the car was officially mine anyway, I could have not paid him nothing at all. But I'm not that type of person. So I never really spoke to that person I bought my car from ever again. I see him every now and then, and we'll speak, we'll say hello or whatever. But I avoid him at all costs because of what he did to me that time. But I ended up catching a break, just by asking my dad for the money, and then I ended up paying it back in work. So that's what happened. That's one of the situations that I went through, and it's always like some bullshit I gotta deal with, man. It's always like I can never. Sometimes I feel like I can't catch a break when I buy something or I get something, and that was like a period of my life where I was going through a huge transition. Army, job, car, apartment, bills. You know, I just broke up with my girlfriend before she went to college. Like I was going through hell and back when I was around that 20-year-old mark, you know? So it all worked out. It all worked out in my favor at the end of the day. And I learned my lesson to never buy secondhand shit from an asshole without giving him the money right away. But you make deals with people and then it goes south. So it's just the way life is, unfortunately. But I don't care. Like I always tell everybody, like I just get irritated because I don't understand how people do that shit. I don't know how people like disrespect people like that. But to each their own. Not my problem. But I've been through some situations where money becomes the root of all evil, and money becomes a problem. Money becomes an issue. Money is always this and that, blah blah blah. And money comes in between people. And that's why I never really like to make money emphasize too much on money and what I do with it and how I spend it, or like, and if anybody came to me and asked me for a loan, I tell them no because of what my experiences have been through. You know, I ain't giving nobody shit. Ain't nobody gave me a break. I don't really ask nobody for shit anyway. And that's just how I am. I'm not gonna sit here and ask you for shit, especially my parents. Hell no. Yeah, exactly. And that's what happened like plenty of times with my brother. My brother's got a bad reputation of borrowing money, not having any, being broke. Then he just got this inheritance. Half of it's gone already. It's not even been 30 days and half his money's gone. He's just a fucking idiot that doesn't have no common sense. My dad got sick because of his stupid decisions. You know, but he'll never learn. My dad always says you can give him $1 million and he'll spend it all in that one day and wouldn't even care. And it's true. It's sad when your own dad says that about you. Now, one thing about my dad, that's where I got it from. He'll tell you the truth to your face and you might not like it. But hey, you shouldn't have asked, or you shouldn't have been around me for me to tell you the truth if it bothers you. It's all good, Tanya. I know you're teasing me. I know you like teasing me. But that's just the way it is. You can. My parents had 4 children. Not none of us are alike. You know, there's people in here who have children. None of them are alike. They might not be like you. They might not be like their father. They might not be like their mother or their grandchildren or grandparents. They might not be like the other siblings. It's just the way it is. Everybody's got their own identity. Some people are like, but not very much. My brother and I are totally different, even though we look alike, but we're totally different from each other. And he tells my mom, he won't tell me, but he tells my mom, yeah, I saw Mark on the roof. Fuck that. I'll never do that type of work. But he does a lot of things that I don't do. And I felt like saying, at least you know it. But he would never say that shit to me. He'll never say that shit to me. He's so jealous that I do so much more than he does. And I don't even care. If somebody does more than me, I'm never going to be jealous of them. I'm just going to probably admire him and say, you're really good. Good for you, man. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're the best at what you do, or I'm glad you have this cool whatever. I'm not a hater, nor do I want to be jealous. That's unhealthy. But like my brother, he's definitely like always been jealous, and he says things to other people and it comes back to me. And I'm like, well, that's his own dumbness, you know? I could care less what he says. But it's all good. People are just gonna be people, and dumb is just gonna be forever dumb. Okay, Barbie, take care. Wish you a good day. Talking to you guys made me feel better. I don't have my headache no more. My headache's kind of gone, and I feel much better just talking and just being here. That's why I came on here. I didn't want to because I didn't feel good, but I'm actually okay now. I feel much better. I feel like a lot more relieved. I can see rain coming now in the background. Toodles. You sound like Jessie used to do. Hopefully Jessie's okay. She used to always say toodles. I haven't seen Jessie forever. My favorite, my original pain in the ass. That was the biggest pain in the ass ever. But I love her to death though. I miss her. I hope she's okay. Yeah, even though I don't want to admit that sometimes, but I guess it can be. I guess that's a part of it, I would say. I can admit that. That's fine. You know, I don't really like to talk about stress because I think it's all self inflicted, but in my case, it's not. I've been through some hard times these past few months. Yeah, exactly. So, that's why I probably feel the way I feel. I mean, you're right. I've bottled up a lot of things and try not to. I've been trying to like make substitutes for happiness, and it's still not right. It's still not. It still doesn't feel like everything's back to normal yet. It doesn't. Yeah, I know. Thank God I got you guys to talk to about it. But it's just tough, man. It's tough. Everything's gone so different the past few months. It's just crazy. And I got a lot more shit I gotta do soon. Next week's gonna be hell because my sister goes away for 10 days on a business trip. I gotta deal with my nephew. I gotta deal with the renovation of the bathroom. I gotta deal with these idiots coming here and working and aggravating the shit out of me. I'm really not looking forward to doing any of these things. I really ain't. And my sister keeps putting these things on me all the time. But like I said to her, I'm not going to be working hard. You hire these guys to do it. I'm just going to be here supervising. I'm not going to bust my ass. No fucking more. I'm sick and tired of like doing all this work and my body gets destroyed every day. I'm not fucking doing it. I want my life back where I come on here. have fun, and work when I want to, work on my mom's house, get things done when the weather's good. And I want to play music. I want to do my life. I want to do what I want. Sick and tired of doing what everybody else fucking wants all the time. Irritates me. But whatever. Sometimes you just can't really fix things the way you want to. Oh, you've been through a lot as well, Tanya, and thank God we all have each other to get comforted by and be positive with. With me, it's been, working on my mom's house, trying to do my own thing at home, dealing with my pain every day with my legs and my back. And some days I feel great, some days I feel really bad. Now it's my sleep for the past 2 days, you know? It's always something, Always something. But, I'm not a whiny little bitch. I just do what I gotta do. I just try and make life as good as it can be and just stay positive as long as I can, you know? I try not to, complain too much. It's not that I'm complaining. It's just basically stating how you feel. That's all. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I want to get to that point where I get up and do what I want. I'm there to a certain extent, but you know, I still have to do this, do that. And I'm still like, if I don't do shit, then I'm fucked up. And if I don't do this for this person, then, what are you doing? Yes. What are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm kind of like, want my own life. Do I owe you something? Like, what the fuck? I can't live my life. I can't do what I want. Don't you know I worked my whole entire life? Fuck you talking about? I go 49 in a couple of days, and when I was 9 years old, I was packing fucking groceries at the grocery store, making money, trying to make $50 a weekend just to be happy. So I've been working for 40 years, in case you didn't know. But see, people don't care. See, they just want to keep getting everything out of you until the end. And then when you die, oh, he was a good person. Goodbye. Fuck you. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just tired. I'm really tired, and I would like to just chill out and just do what I want to do. And I feel like I do that to a certain extent. Yeah. I've worked for 40 years too. And I'm only 49. When I was literally 9 years old, I was packing groceries. That was the age where you were allowed to go pack groceries here in Bermuda. I went after school. I went for like an hour or two to the place closed, pack some groceries, you know? Oh, hell no. But making like $20 a night off of like packing groceries, man, that was like the best feeling in the world. To buy like a soda and a bag of chips on my way home, you know. I remember like when I dropped out of school at 17, I went straight to work. And when I got I worked so hard to be the manager. I was pumping gas, washing windows. I said, I can't do this for the rest of my life. Fuck that. So I went inside one day and I said, hey, you guys need an apprentice mechanic? It was like a garage out the back, and they were struggling with the work. And I was like, look, teach me how to like plug tires and fix tires and use this machine. Like, teach me how to do it. If I fuck anything up, I'll pay for it. It's cool. You sure, Mark? Yep, I want to learn, man. I'm 18 now. I want to learn. So they taught me. And then they were paying me like $12 an hour to like plug tires and take tires off and help people that come in with flat tires and shit. Then I ended up being an apprentice mechanic and learning how to do mechanical stuff. And when I was 19, they paid me like $14 an hour. And I was working from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. But what it was in the morning, we would all like, wait for the cars to come in, people dropping them off at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, shit like that. But in the morning, we'd have our coffee and our Danish or read the newspaper. And I was getting paid just like them because I was ended up being a manager. And I bust my ass 12 hours a day. And then summertime came, they said that they wanted to open the gas station up till 9 o'clock. And that from five to 9, I would have to go home, get a shower, get changed, and come back on the register and be on the register from 5 to 9 because I was a manager. So I was working 14-hour days, and I was like the happiest person in the world. I'm like, yes, I get to work all these hours, make all this money. I was like making almost $1,000 a week. And I was like, yes, this is the best life ever, because I needed to work that long because I had bills to pay. I had rent to pay. I had just been home. I just bought the car. Working all those long hours helped me pay for that car I was talking about earlier. And then I was making money DJing at night, and then I was making money from the army. Like every 3 months, they paid us like some money or whatever. So I had to bust my ass every day, all those long hours, just to pay my bills, my rent, for all the things I wanted, needed. I experienced what life was when I left school at 17 and went to work. And within 2 years, I was the manager at that gas station and mechanic. And I did so much in a 2-year period. It was incredible. It was crazy. Like my whole life changed, and I got an opportunity. And I thank the guy that gave me the opportunity. I thank him all the time. He's a mess now, but when I drive across there, I'm like, so much good memories here. I made so much money here and worked so hard. Then after that, I went into construction. And then I started making like $20 an hour. So I was like, yes, more money, same hours. Then I worked. And I wanted to be a mason. So they were teaching me how to like, use the tools. And then the electrician guy, he was like, look, I need help. You want to learn to do electrical work? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll learn whatever you guys want to teach me. I'm just here to learn, bro. The more I earn, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I earn. Then I started doing electrical. And then I did it for like 25 years. And now I don't even want to do it no more. Because it's like every time I do it or get a job doing it, the people don't want to pay the price. People underbid everything, and people overbid things, and people say, oh, I'm getting it cheaper from someone else. So I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not gonna battle over money and and how much shit costs and taking less and doing more. That ain't gonna happen. And then life changed. I come on here. I've been blessed with the inheritance to keep me going for a bit. So I try not to complain when things get tough. But it's all good. Sometimes we gotta go through shit in order to wake us up, to show us what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. Yeah, God bless Phil. That's why he had what he had. Phil has what he has because he worked hard for it. You know, Phil worked hard, worked a lot of hours. You know, at least before he passed away, you were with him. You know, through his worst times. At the end of the day, he got to live his life with you, and that's why, you know, it's nice to be with people like that. Yeah, and see, that's even better for you. Yeah, of course it's gonna work out. There's no I hope. You got to say I know things are gonna work out. I just have to be patient. I've taught you this already. There's no hoping. Hope is someone's name. You got to say, I know things are going to work out for me because Spirit has my back. I just need to be patient for the time. That's all. I do it every day. I put all my trust in God, all my trust in Spirit that are out there, all my past loved ones, they hear me. They know what I want. And that's why they give me what I need. I say it all the time with my dad and my dog and people that have passed away that know me. They know I'm doing the right thing. They know that I'm out here doing what I have to do. I kept my promise to my dad. Before he died, I told him, look, when I get my inheritance, I'm going to fix up the house. You ain't got to pay for nothing. I got that money because of mom, sister, and brother in law. And I don't care what your other children do with their money, but I'm going to help you guys. Because at the end of the day, you guys, you help me. Now I'm going to help you. And you ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to take no money out of your bank. Just keep all that money to yourself. Don't worry about it. No, no, no. I said yes, yes, yes. And I did it. You know how happy I am to pay for my mom's roof and pay my cousin for doing the job and you know how weird it is I'll tell you, I don't know if I've said this before on here, but when Diamond passed away, I was gonna give all her stuff to SPCA because I didn't know anybody who had a big dog. And it slipped my mind that my cousin that helped me do the roof, he's got a big dog. He's got a Doberman Pinscher. Moon is her name. She's so cute, and she loves me, and I love her too. She's such a nice dog, right? She always was like very loving and always wanted me to pet her and stuff. And I have a thing with dogs anyway. I love dogs. So I was going down my list of my phone. I said, "Oh fuck, my cousin Scotty, he's got the fucking dog." I said he's gonna help me do the roof. Maybe I can make a deal with him and give him all this food, her two bowls, and the little desk it sits on, and I'll give her the big container. I'll give him the big container with the dry food. I'll give him like a leash that I have, like a retracting leash It was brand new that I never used. And I'll just give all this shit to him in exchange for like the paint. Cause it's like probably like it was like $300 worth of shit that I gave him. And he was happy. He was like, "Yeah, sure, that's a great deal. You give me all of this, and I'll give you the paint for free." And I was like, "All right, deal." All I had to do is pay for his labor, which was not much, you know. So I paid for his labor, made the deal with Diamond stuff to his dog. So it all worked out for me to save money because I was smart enough to make a deal with him. He could have said, "No, no, I'll pay for it, and then you pay for the paint. You know, business is business." But he didn't. He says, "Yeah, sure, I'll take all of that shit for the dog. It's worth about that much, so here you go." And then I gave him this big pole with the brush on it to do the roof. It's like an exclusive brush that my stupid ex brother in law bought years ago from my dad. My dad never used it because he didn't like it. And it's good to paint roofs with. And he says, "If you give me this, I'll take some hours off, you know?" And I was like, "All right, bro, sure. No problem." So the things that my ex brother in law bought for Diamond and my dad and things, I made the exchange for that to pay for the paint for the roof because the paint is very expensive. It's like $300 for a 5 gallon drum of paint because it's a special paint and you need more than that to paint the roof. So it was probably like a bucket and a half. So it's probably like $450 worth of paint. And all the shit I gave him was probably worth that or more. So it all worked out for me. See how spirit like does that shit at the right time to help, for expenses and help for like certain things. It just never seems to amaze me that bad things happen to create good things. So sometimes bad shit has to happen in order for good shit to happen. And that's the way my life seems to be. Bad shit happens first and then some good happens after. So it makes you say, "Hey, look, you got to go through these negative things sometimes in order to get to positive things." So my dad's death, got doing the roof, things got put off. And then when Diamond died, I had to put off the roof again for the following week. And then we ended up doing, after she died a whole 10 days later, that's when we actually started the roof. And then it all worked out where he had the dog, all the stuff went to him in exchange for the paint and some hours. And end up me paying less than what I've ever paid for a roof to get it done, you know. And my cousin was cool about it. He was understanding. He was, he wasn't being a dickhead or being greedy or anything like that. Everything was fair and square. You know, finally, like a friend came through. Because like when you do shit for people and they don't do nothing back for you, it's kind of annoying. And then, but he's different. I've known him my whole life, so he's got a good heart, and he helped me like a lot. So it all worked out for me. Spirit bring us together to make everything happen. And that's the mentality I think that all of us need to have. When hard times happen, you got to understand it ain't going to last for too long. It's going to get better. And you're going to have your moments where you're going to be like, you miss the person or whatever. You miss the pet or the person that you dealt with. But at the end of the day, they're helping you in spirit to get those moments, where you're like, if something good happens, you're like, huh, I know why this has happened. They're looking out for me, or they did this for me, or they made this happen. They nudged this situation to be the way it is. And if you believe that all the time, then spirit's going to be like, thank God you understand it's us. Like, thank God that that we're helping you. Like, and I'm so glad you believe that. And I'm so glad you know that. So that's the attitude that I have. I just totally believe and understand that they're helping me all the time. And I thank them every day. And every night before I go sleep, I thank them. When I feel like shit, I ask him to internally help me, you know, help me with my body, help me, be good. It takes a while to believe those things. Just keep trying. You'll see. You've already seen it. You've already seen the power that spirit has. So it's just a matter of time before you really, sometimes things have to happen in order for us to believe. And that's what happened with me. I had to like really test if spirit was really there for me or not. Is this all an illusion or is this all bullshit and just embedded in my mind? And it wasn't. It all became a reality. It all became like, hey, this is for real. Like they are really seriously helping me. Like, and this is really seriously happening. So I remember to take that with me. But anyway, Tanya, I gotta go pick up my nephew. So I'm gonna go get ready. And I feel much better talking to you guys now. My headache's gone. And I just feel much better because my mind's not on negative things. But I shall be back later on. I don't really have much to do tonight. I'm trying to stay, positive. You know how you always say I took a L today? I almost took a L today. I really did. I was kind of like feeling so weird and wondering whether or not, I'm doing the right thing or why am I feeling this way or why am I not, what can I change? And I automatically thought about your saying, like, I had to take an L today, take a zero. But I said, nah, fuck that. I don't want to take a zero. I don't want to take an L. Yeah, I know. But I know what you mean, by saying it. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Me, my way is taking an L, right? Taking a loss. And I said, you know what, Mark? No, you're not. You're going to get up, you're going to go outside, you're going to walk around, you're going to breathe, you're going to relax, you're going to do some things to get your mind off of everything. Then I walked up the stairs, I got my clothes, put it on, and I said, you know what, just go live, bro, because you're going to have people on there that's going to uplift you and listen to you, and your friends, your real friends are on there, and, talking to them, you're going to feel better, I guarantee it. And I did, and I do now, I feel much better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I feel. And I do those videos because I get up in the morning and I feel like I don't want to do anything anymore. I get so distracted by why. The word why did this happen now? Or why does this have to happen now? Or why does shit always got to be on me all the time? Or why do I have to do this all the time? It's like, fuck off, man. So like I've been asking myself the question why a lot lately, and I shouldn't. I should just like suck it up and shut up and just keep dealing with life. But it's hard to sometimes. Sometimes like you don't know what to do with yourself. You're like, should I do this? Nah, I don't feel like it. Then you like kind of feel down and you're like, man, I don't even know what to do with myself no more. I'm fucking so sick and tired of this bullshit I have to deal with. And then you just feel, one day you feel good, one day you feel bad. Next day you think too much, the next day you don't. It's like, fuck, man. It's like, what else do I have to do? Like, I don't deserve this shit. But I feel better now. I feel much better. Sometimes I need to just gather myself and just say, you know what? It's not the end of the world, bro. You're good. Just fucking shut up and deal with life. I think I'm not no, weak ass fucking guy. I'm a strong guy, just, I have to maintain that way even though how hard it's getting. Yeah, exactly. All right, Tanya, wish you a good day. I'll be back later on, and I hope everything works out for all of us. We deserve it. But I'm going to go get my nephew now, and I'll be back later. Take care.